mistakenly perceived as either a demon or deity, numerous legends abound about the darkened blade. Yet, scant few are acquainted with my true name or the tale of my descent. In an era ancient, long preceding the desert's conquest of the Empire, Shurima summoned a formidable champion before the sun disk, destined to embody a celestial ideal, now lost to time. Transformed into one of the Ascended, my wings embodied the golden dawn's light, and my armor shimmered like a constellation of hope beyond the great cosmic veil. I was called Aatrox, and I stood at the forefront of every noble conflict. My conduct was so righteous and true that other godly warriors flocked to my side, and 10,000 Shuriman mortals followed my lead. When Seneca, the Ascended Warrior Queen, cried out for aid against the Acathian rebellion, I answered without hesitation. Yet none could foresee the unspeakable horrors the rebels would unleash. The Void. It swiftly devoured its Acathian masters and commenced its relentless annihilation of all life. After years of unrelenting battle, my brethren and I managed to halt the Void's abominable advance and seal its largest rifts. However, the surviving Ascended, the self-proclaimed Sunborn, were forever changed by what they had encountered. Though Shurima had triumphed, victory had extracted a toll from all, including me. In time, Shurima fell, as all empires must, devoid of a monarch to defend or the existential menace of the Void. The Sunborn had found themselves in conflict with each other. This spiraled into war for the ruins of our world. Mortals fleeing this strife came to dub us with a new, scornful name, the Darken. Fearing that these fallen Ascended posed as great a threat to Runeterra's survival as the Void, the Targonians intervened. Legend has it that the aspect of Twilight bestowed mortals with the knowledge to imprison the Darken, while the newly resurrected aspect of war united many against them. Unfazed by any adversity, Aatrox and his legions stood ready, only to realize too late that they had been deceived. A power mightier than 1,000 extinguished suns drew me into the very sword I had wielded in countless battles, binding my immortal essence eternally. Weapon became my prison, encasing my consciousness in unending, suffocating darkness, robbing me even of the release of death. For centuries I struggled against this infernal incarceration, until some nameless mortal dared to try wielding the blade once more. Seizing this opportunity, I imposed my will and a semblance of my original form onto my host, though the process swiftly consumed all life within the new vessel. Over the ensuing years, I claimed many more hosts, individuals of exceptional vitality and resilience. Though my mastery of such dark magic had been limited in life, I learned to seize control of a mortal in the span of a single breath, and in battle, I discovered the ability to feed on my victims, growing larger and more formidable with every conquest. I roamed the land relentlessly, ceaselessly, seeking a way to return to my former Ascended glory. Yet, the enigma of the blade remained unsolved, and I eventually comprehended that freedom from it was unobtainable. The flesh I appropriated and crudely reshaped became a cruel parody of my former grandeur, a cage scarcely larger than the sword itself. Despair and abhorrence took root in my heart. The celestial powers I once embodied had obliterated from this world, along with all memory of them. In defiance of this injustice, I arrived at a solution born only from a prisoner's desperation. If I could neither destroy the blade nor liberate myself, then I would embrace oblivion instead. Now, I, Aatrox, march relentlessly toward this ruthless objective, sowing war and death wherever my path takes me. I cling to a blind hope that by plunging all of creation into a final apocalyptic conflict where everything else is annihilated, perhaps I and the blade shall also cease to exist. Darkness, the breath I cannot take, plagues me. It is an emptiness in my lungs and throat, as if I had stopped mid-breath and then held my lungs cruelly waiting. My mouth opens, throat hollow, unable to pull in air. My chest, the horrible tension on my thorax. My limbs and muscles refuse to move. I cannot breathe. I am choking. Pressure builds and stillness spreads to my chest and limbs. I want to scream, to tear at my face, to wail. But I am trapped. I cannot move. I cannot move. Darkness. I must remember. I must remember. The battle. I lost control. It was foolish. The mortals formed in ranks against me. I crashed into them, drank from them. The temptation was too great. As I reaped, I reforged their flesh into a better approximation of my true shape. Desperately, I consumed more and more, hoping for the briefest echo of what I once was. Instead, like a fire, I burned too quickly, destroying even my host's form. Darkness. It was raining when we fought. What if mud and filth covered me? What if I'm hidden for thousands of years, trapped in this prison? The horror of that idea feeds my panic. The battle is ending. I can feel it. I must will my form upright. I must. I have no arms or legs. The darkness binds me like a cocoon. No. I will myself upright. But I cannot know if it's working. I cannot know anything but the darkness. Please, let some mortal find me, please. I beg the darkness endlessly, but the humiliation of my plea is answered only with silence. But then, I feel a mortal nearby. I have no eyes, no ears, but I can feel his approach. He is fleeing from adversaries. He must try to defend himself. He must grasp me. Can he see me? He could run past me. I would be left here. I feel his hand grip this form and his consciousness opens to me. I burrow into him, pulling him down. I am like a drowning man, thrown into the sea by a shipwreck, dragging myself to the surface by clawing past my fellows. What's happening? The mortal screamed, but he is silenced by the darkness. The endless darkness I have just escaped. And I have eyes. I can see the falling rain, the muck, the blood of this slaughtered field. In front of me stands 2 weary knights with spears. I cut them apart and drink in their forms, recrafting this body to my needs. They are weak. I must move quickly. I must find a better wielder, a better host. Around me are only the dead and dying. I hear their souls retreating from this world. The fighting has not ended. It's moved into the city walls. I force my new shape, limping, crawling toward the sounds of battle, toward a better host. I roar, but not in triumph. Never in triumph. I will drink from this city, but I will achieve only a grotesque mockery of my former glory. I was shaped by the stars, and the purity of my aspect. I was light and reason given shape. I defended this world in its greatest battles ever known. Now, blood and ichor drips from the stolen flesh as it decays. The muscles and bones struggle, tear, and protest the abomination I have become. I take a breath. No, Aatrox, my voice wet and echoing of the dead that surrounded me. We will go onward, and onward, and onward, until the final oblivion comes.